Alright guys, what's going on? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video, and today I want to talk about a subject that I am definitely starting to see and hear about XDefiant over social media, videos, and all that kind of stuff, and I want to get a little bit more in depth into it, and I want to simultaneously answer this sort of debate, or put my own 2 cents in this debate before continuing to move on. So here we go. Let's talk about it. And what's the main question? What is exactly the specifics of this subject that I'm talking about? Well, what this is basically the big question of whether or not XDefiant is actually going to survive a few months, like let's say, beyond its release. So because there have been a multitude of content creators that have basically been stating that they doubt that the game is going to survive for more than a few months after its release, and I certainly see where they are coming from. And from a certain point of view, I actually have to say that not only do I see where they're coming from, but I could totally see how it's logical and how something like that may actually happen. So let's talk about it, because I believe that there's two sides to this coin. And I think that that it could go either way. However, I think that it's already headed in a positive direction in terms of what we've seen so far. So the main things, or the main two things that need to happen in this game for it to not only survive, but to also thrive and to grow and to be be at where it needs to be. So let's get an analogy here. Call of Duty is basically the new kid on the block at this point, right? Or I'm sorry, not Call of Duty. XDefiant is a new kid on the block. Let's say XDefiant is a rookie. XDefiant is a rookie who has yet to play his first professional game, right? He's made the team, but he has yet to play his first professional game, and he's getting ready to play his first professional game, right? He hasn't started yet, but he's about to, right? So he's got everything to prove and all that kind of stuff, but there's a lot of potential. He communicates with the coach very well. He listens to his teammates and all that kind of stuff, makes changes, works hard at practice and puts extra effort in whenever there's not practice and stuff like that, and performs well. But he has yet to be ready for his first professional game, right? So that is where XDefiant is right now. And the thing is, it's going to take two major things in order for XDefiant to thrive when it's time for XDefiant to play its first official game. Now, the first official game is obviously release. So now what needs to, part of it is already happening, right? It's going to be two things. It's going to be the support of the community and the support of the developers. And basically what's going to keep the glue together for all this is the fact that we need communication from both. So communication between the devs and the players is one of the things, and of course the execution of that communication. And what I mean by this is it's not just, okay, listen and talk. It's also about doing. You can't just listen and talk. That's only half the battle. You have to do it. So as of right now, the developers as well as the community is doing it, and the game has yet to launch. So what needs to happen is, if such and such needs to be fixed, or if people are talking about such and such, there needs to be constant communication, like there is now, right? But there also need to be changes that are going to be done, right? Because not only has, I'm going to use Call of Duty as an example for obvious reasons, not only has Call of Duty like not been communicating with the fan base or whatnot, right? But it also hasn't been doing what a lot of the fan base has been asking for either. So as a matter of fact, in some cases, been doing the opposite. So in order, and what's happening right now with Call of Duty, it's not doing very well, right? In terms of the player count and all that kind of stuff. Okay, cool. Now, with XDefiant, beyond launch, right? If they keep their promises, if they continue to be transparent like they are now, and if they continue to work hard and make changes like they have been, and if they continue to actually listen to the community and implement those things into the game that the community is asking for, I honestly don't see any reason why this game can't survive for the long run. Seriously. And it's now, in terms of How big the game is going to end up being is, I don't know. It's anybody's guess at this point. We don't know, right? Unless you can predict the future or have a magic ball or something like that. It's simple. We really do not know. However, with that being said, the potential is tremendous, especially when you have the combination of communication going on, and then you've got the effort of the developers and stuff like that, and then you've got the players, right? Because if you're doing something good, your players will play the game. Your players will promote the game. They will influence. I mean, let's just give you a prime example of just how influential players can be, right? And we're talking, this could be true for small and big influencers as well. But obviously the big influencers have the most impact because they've got the numbers, right? But let's talking about who, in your opinion, let me ask you this right now. Anybody who's listened to this video, before I answer it, see if you can think of this, of the answer to this question. I don't care if they're currently retired. I don't care if they're, whatever it is. I don't care if they're retired or currently active. I don't care. Who, in your opinion, is the most influential retired or currently active Call of Duty pro right now, today? My answer to that is Scump, right? It's like no matter what video Scump makes, this is the thing that he has. He's so impactful that no matter what video he makes or no matter what game he streams and plays, the people are still going to come and see him. His numbers are going to still be the same. He's going to average 6 figures in total count of views, regardless of whatever video that man makes. Okay? He's very influential. He's got tremendous support. He's even got players playing games, playing a game that, like, people that support, that follow him will play a game that they wouldn't normally play because he plays it. Or even if they don't like it, they'll still play it. Seriously. Now, granted, the ones that are playing it, despite the fact they don't like it, I think some of those people are a little bit young and a little, but again, you've still got, like, if influence wasn't as big as it was, sponsorships wouldn't be paying all these athletes and all these celebrities, for instance, an insane amount of money, which is more than what they would make in salary, right? If it wasn't for their influence. That's what they're buying, really, is the fact that they're, that's why they're investing in these athletes, right? Because these athletes are promoting a certain product, and it's like, ooh, this person's promoting this product. Okay, I'm a fan of this person, so therefore I'm a fan of the product, and I'm gonna purchase that product and invest in that product. As simple as it sounds and as direct as I just was, it's absolutely true. It's a fact. There are people out there that do that, and there's a lot of people that do that. Otherwise, those companies wouldn't be spending that amount of money on a specific person to promote their product. But they know that it sells, and therefore they invest in that, and they get more than what they spent in investment. They get more than return on investment. So ultimately, Scump, for instance, if he were to, hypothetically speaking, come out of retirement and announce that he was going to play XDefiant competitively, professionally, you have any idea what that's going to do for the game? And that's just one person with a tremendous following, right? But at the same time, even if Scump were to not do that, we could still have a positive impact, like as a community, from small content creators to large content creators and everything in between. There could still be a level. It all adds up, man. There could still be the word of mouth. There could still be social media impact and all that kind of stuff. If people are talking about this game and talking about how fun it is and all that kind of stuff, it's not only going to put the game on the map, but allow the game to grow, right? So, I mean, ultimately, a lot of games out there got to that level because of that consistent growth and promotion through word of mouth, and then the internet, and then social media content and all that kind of stuff. That's how they started. So basically, this rookie here, okay, in XDefiant, if it continues to go on this path and continues to put the effort, keeps all the promises with the DLC, the weapons, the servers, the connection, the no skill-based matchmaking, all that other kind of stuff, the competitive side of things, the play and all that. Like, if they keep their word and they don't pull a 180 or a bait and switch or whatever you want to call it, and if they truly keep their word, and if they truly continue to be this transparent and put in this amount of effort and all that kind of stuff, there is just absolutely no way that this game will not survive. I mean, this game will survive. Like right now, it's no guarantee that the developers will continue to go at it like this. All we can do is take their word for it. But so far, So far, it's looking good, and we're on par. And if it continues, there's no doubt. The community, no matter what, it's guaranteed they're going to say what they have to say about the game. So if they don't like this, if they don't like the game, or if they have certain requests that need to be met, they're going to talk about it. Okay. Call of Duty, the Call of Duty community has been doing that for years, and there's a big chunk of the Call of Duty community that is playing XDefiant right now, right? And then let's not forget that you're also going to have new players that are going to be coming in as well, and social media is popular even for casuals, so they're going to be doing their thing as well, even though there's a good chunk of the casuals that really just get on and play the game to play the game. They won't follow anything on social media and stuff like that, although through years, you know, that number will increase because that's just how it is. There's a higher percentage of good players playing out there now than there was back during the, like, let's say the Black Ops 1 days, right? I mean, if right now, if anybody watching this video that's been playing first-person shooters for a long time were to go back with the knowledge and the skill they have now, back to 2010 through a time machine, and play pubs in a Call of Duty match in Black Ops 1 with the skill and the knowledge that they've obtained today, they would wreck like way more than they did even back in that day. Seriously, they would wreck lobbies like crazy. It would be insane. So, you know, because again, things have changed since then. There weren't as many good players like there are now. You know, social media wasn't where it was now. YouTube isn't where it was now in terms of population and all that kind of stuff. People are looking. There's a higher percentage of people than back then that are looking at YouTube videos for all sorts of things. So compared to what they used to, you know, back in the day, a lot of people that would watch YouTube were people that just wanted to, like, they would just watch animal videos and stuff like that here and there. But now it's turned to a place to where people watch everything, and that is something that is very powerful. You cannot underestimate something like that. So in my eyes, as long as things continue to communicate like this, there's absolutely no reason that this game will not survive. None. And it's only going to get better. I know this is not exactly Call of Duty. It's not supposed to be. It's not meant to be. But over time, it's only going to get better. I think, especially when they get the servers up, I think the game is also going to feel even better, which is going to make it even more addictive to play when you get the servers working the way they should. I mean, because remember, this is the beta, and they're using the old servers from like the original closed alphas or whatever it was that they were doing, the insider sessions or whatever you want to call them. So I think they're saving the regular servers because they're continuing to optimize them. And so far, according to what I've read and seen, they're looking good. But they're saving them either for the next beta or for launch. I'm assuming it's going to be the next beta, because they're going to have to stress test the servers anyway. So it's like, it just makes complete sense. And at the same time, when you release it out there into the wild, you get even more feedback and you get to know more about everything as opposed to what you've learned through what you're currently doing. So so right now, in terms of the way this game is playing, it's not playing anywhere near as good as it should. At least that's what I think. And to my knowledge, for people that have been playing this game behind the scenes for like a year, the game has changed quite a lot, and for the better. So by the time this game comes out in an X amount of months from now or whatever it is, especially when operating on good servers, and then when the game itself, the gameplay and every other aspect has been ironed out and optimized, I think we're looking at something good here, guys. And at the same time, powered by the transparency and communication by the devs and the players constantly communicating back and forth and actually doing things in order to, they're doing what they say, then how in the world is it not going to succeed? That's the only question I have. Like, seriously, how in the world is this game not going to succeed? So if you think about it, it's in the hands of the devs and it's in the hands of the players. So if both do our part, if we both do our parts, then there's absolutely no way this game's not going to survive. So that's my thoughts on whether or not the game is going to survive. For reasons I just mentioned, and as to why and all that, it has potential to not only be a good game, like, and the new kid on the block, the one that actually gets to be viable in the competitive and casual gaming community, and kind of put its own flavor into the mix with other first-person shooters out there, and kind of, you know, be a contender, so to speak. Yeah, absolutely. It has the potential to be one of the best, and over time, this game could very well be like a glass of wine. It's going to be better with age. So, and if the developers continue to support it like this, there's just no way that it's not. So, because as I mentioned before, it's guaranteed that the players will do their part. So, but that's my take on it, and that's why I think, and those are the primary reasons as to why I believe this game is going to survive. It really is that simple. I don't need to say specifics like, oh, we need a prestige mode, we need this mode, and we need that mode. No, because basically communication is where it's at. So all these things that we need are going to be talked about anyway. So I may add another video to this, but again, it's long enough, and I just wanted to kind of talk about it and basically say that. So I really don't need to go more in depth. You guys are creative enough. You guys can see between the lines. You guys understand where I'm coming from. And ultimately, I think this game is definitely going to survive if they keep on going in this direction from a community and developer standpoint. So anyway, that's all I got for this one. Let me know down in the comments section what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there something else that you wanted to add into the mix here? I'm very open to reading what you guys have to say. So let it all be known down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.